The hardest part of running, by far, the hardest part of running is putting your shoes on before. That's not uncommon observation, but it's true. Why? Why is that the hardest part? And I mean it. Like, I spent more time staring at my shoes this morning than I did actually running. My run was unbelievably pleasant, but I was in agony before I put my shoes on. Why? Well, this is only my theory, but I think the worst experience of your life that you ever had running lives inside you somewhere. And when you put on your running shoes, that acts as a symbol that triggers that experience. And I don't mean you have like a PTSD flashback, although maybe even kind of. I mean that something animalistic in your nervous system keys on. And it's like, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. That was a horrible experience. Why are you voluntarily putting us in that position? That's only my theory. Feel free to disagree. Seriously, if you got a different theory, put it in the comments. I will discuss them with you, for sure. The second worst part about running is immediately afterwards. When you do your metrics, you do your time, you do your totals. And then you suffer by comparison to the runner you used to be, to the runner you want to be. A fantasy, a memory too, an expectation, right? And you beat yourself up about not being good enough, not being fast enough, being too fat. All things I also did today, right before I started this video. Why does that happen? Well, I'm not 100% sure. I think that one's a little more complicated. For that matter, I'm not sure of my other theory. So I'm not sure about both. How do you combat it? Well, there are all sorts of spiritual, or if you prefer, pseudo-spiritual ways to get out of this trap. It's not an unknown trap, you know? Our memory is the past. Our fantasies and expectations and goals are the future. We try to live in the now, you know? We try to address what's happening right now and not let those things pollute it. That makes sense. It's a good idea, but, you know, if you want to go spend 3+ years in Tibet in a cave meditating, you might be able to do it. Maybe it doesn't take that long, but man, I've been a meditator for the last 25 years. And I was beaten up by both of these things today. So I'm not sure that works. And if it does work, I'm not sure it works that well. It might be case specific. Okay, that seems fine too. Maybe some people get better results than that than others. Honestly, that would make sense to me. Here's what I'm thinking, right? So it's memory and expectation, right? What if you accrue enough memories of pleasant, enjoyable, low expectation runs so that they outweigh the other experiences? They dull it slowly. It's a war of inches. They chip away at it over time. How long? I'm thinking 2 months. Anyway, that's what I'm hoping to find out. I've been running for 8 days now. Just 1 mile. Nasal breathing, low heart rate running. Every one of them has been unbelievably enjoyable. I listen to music. I'm outside. I feel great. I feel great after. Every single run I've dreaded before I started. And every single run after, when I'm looking at my stats and taking my heart rate, I've been disappointed. Why? Right? Why? That's excuse me, that's fucking crazy. I'm not trying to be a runner. I'm not trying to get anywhere with running. Like, why am I beating myself up over this? It's like we're prisoners, but we're also the prison guards of that prison. And the spiritual traditions, the New Age traditions, and the ancient traditions would say, stop guarding the prison, you know? And that's good advice. And like, I genuinely think that's the better plan, right? But it's also a lot of hard work, like an insane amount of hard work. And what if you were a cool prison guard instead, you know? And then over time, you can chip away at that not being a prison guard at all thing. I think Gurdjieff would call this the middle path, but I'm not sure that he would agree with me completely. Like, what if you treated yourself like you would your child? Well, first of all, what if you stopped treating children like they're not people, right? And then what if you treated yourself like your child, but that you also respected and trusted? All right, that's a big ask. I see the problem as I'm saying it out loud, which is one of the benefits of making these videos, is I'm thinking out loud and I get to overhear my own words rather than them just living in a bone cage bouncing around up there. But seriously, what if you loved and trusted yourself? Maybe you don't right now. Certainly I don't sometimes. So how do you develop it, right? Well, one is you have to believe you're going to do the things you tell yourself you're going to do, right? And the other thing is you got to be nice to yourself, right? You got to... I'm not saying don't have memories, and I'm not saying don't have expectations. I'm saying, can you cool those things down a little bit so that they don't fucking abuse you, you know? That's what I'm working on. You want to go see some squats? I talked for 8 minutes. You want to go? Let's go squat. Let's go squat some weight. Today's a bench day too. I might not show you any of that though. This is a squat every day channel. I don't know that I need to show you my bench presses. We'll see. Maybe I will. I love you guys. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is a test run to see if the sound goes better. I have high hopes. And yeah, this is my squats for the day. I worked up to 185, you know, ranting about torturing ourselves and suffering in general notwithstanding. Today was an interesting squat day because my body didn't feel like it was in its position, and yet the weights felt light. I don't know how to reconcile that. Like, it's usually like I can't find my groove, but and I'm weak, or I feel like I have great position and I'm strong. But I felt like I didn't have the position today. I felt like just slightly off, and just looking at them, it doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like, at least for me, they're in really good position. I'll watch this one for the first time, same as you. Maybe my upper back was the problem? Yeah. No, I mean, that looks really good for me. So I don't know. I don't get it. Because I felt strong, but the bar didn't feel like it was in the right place. My feet didn't feel like they were in the right place. It just all felt wrong. I just finished my bench workout. I got up to 185 for a set of 5, and I called it. I owed another set, but I felt something a little sharp and a little weird in my shoulder, and I didn't want to go there. You know, as I'm often repeating, it's just one of the many benefits of aging into a degree of wisdom. You know, I definitely don't recover like I should, but I know when to say when in a way that I maybe never did in the past. I think this is 175. And yeah, man, it looks good. 185 was my top set. Somewhat ironically, it was my top bench set too. I should see what I can do for reps with 185 coming up. I don't know. I'm betting 6, maybe 7. Which then begs the question, why'd you only do 1 rep? Well, because I didn't want to. I didn't want to do more, but let me watch it with you. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, man, my position looks good. God, it looked really good. It did not feel good. Well, whatever the case, just Joe in real life. I love you guys. Be good to each other out there. I'm going to try hard to do the same.